Number 11 is where we begin our solving equations part of the review. I'm going to go ahead and block out these answers just so I have room to work the problem. Here we have the easiest of the four equations that are on here right now. When we're looking at it, we want to get r all by itself. First, we got to move all the regular numbers away from it, and then we can move this -3 away from it. But first, we can combine some like terms on the left side, okay? When I combine these, the -3r stays the same. 1 minus 5 is -4 equals -16. We just kind of cleaned it up a little bit. That's all we did. We just kind of cleaned it up, okay? Next, like I said, we've got to get the numbers away from it first, the big whole numbers, so we're going to add 4 to both sides. That's going to cancel out. Our -3r stayed the same, and -16 plus 4, use your calculator on that one just to be sure, it's a -12. Final step, divide by -3 on both sides, because these are connected by multiplication. The way we undo multiplication is division. It's all opposite operations. That's going to cancel out to be a 1 or a 1r, which we just call r. -12 divided by -3 is a positive 4. Negative divided by negative is positive. Don't have a hiccup on that last little step. Okay? Number 12, you could see really quickly before I got rid of it there, it had the option of no solution. That's a good way to distract people. Sometimes it is no solution, but not right now. Okay? Here we see something similar to the last one where we have like terms, but that's not really the step I start with. I know eventually I'm going to have to get all my x's on one side of the variable, the other. Sorry, those aren't even like terms because that's on the other side of equal. So that was sorry, in case you couldn't tell, that's an equal sign, not a subtraction sign. I just now made that mistake. But on the right-hand side, so scratch that, the right-hand side, we're starting this problem off by freeing up all the stuff inside the parentheses. The way we free it up is by distributing whatever's out front. This is a positive 8, so it's going to go to both pieces. My left side stays the same, 39 plus x equals 7 stays the same, and we have positive 8x and -24. Okay? Now we have some like terms on the right-hand side, positive 7 and -24. Left side, we're going to leave the same for now. This 8x stays the same. Positive 7 and -24 combine to be a -17. I'm going to just double check that real quick. Remind you how to use the calculator. Go to your home screen. Positive 7 minus 24 is a -17. Spot on. Okay? Now we want to get all our x's on one side and all our numbers on the other. Okay? The way I'm going to do that is by subtracting x from both sides. That's because I want to have positive x's over here. Okay? Those cancel. In the same step, because I'm running out of room, I'm also going to add 17 to both sides. And for a lot of people, this is where they start getting a little bit lost. Just do it in 2 steps if you don't like this. I see that I'm going to have all my x's over here because I'm going to have a 7x. All right? I'm also looking ahead and seeing, okay, so when I add 17 to both sides, it's going to add over here. Be careful, do that in your calculator if you need to. 39 plus 17, okay, is 56. And then we're going to divide by 7, divide by 7. So you see by combining these steps, I got all my x's over to one side, got rid of them on this side. Got all my numbers away from this side and over on the other side. So I just accomplished it all in one step. And finally, we want to take 56 and divide it by 7. And we get our final answer of 8. Okay. Real quick, make sure that was one of our options. Indeed, answer should have been 8. On down to number 13. I've got plenty of room to work these down below. We're again solving the equation, so we got to get all these b's onto one side together. Well, before we can start moving them around, we have to distribute. We got to free them up from that set of parentheses. So I'm going to take this -6 and distribute it to both pieces. All right? Left side stays the same, 4 plus 2b equals -6 times positive 5 is -30. -6 times -6b is going to be a positive 36b. Okay, a lot just happened there. Negative times negative is positive. 6 times 6 is 36, and then the b just comes with it. Now we're ready to put all our b's on one side and all our numbers on the other. Similar to the last one, I'm going to subtract 2b because then it's going to end up being a positive b's over here. So I subtract 2b. Again, from this step, this first step written here in black, there's 4 ways to go. You could subtract 4. You could subtract 2b. You could add 30, or you could subtract 36b. All 4 of those steps are viable and will get you the right answer if you do the rest of the problem correctly. I choose this one. So on my left side, I have 4 equals negative 30 plus, this is now 34b. Next, we've got to get the numbers onto the other sides. So we're going to add 30 to both sides. Always opposite operations. Negative 30 gets canceled out by adding 30. On the left side, we have 34. On the right side, we have 34b. Don't be lazy with your variables. Always write them down. Divide by 34, divide by 34. I don't just know how to do that inherently. I look and I say, okay, what connects them? Multiplication connects them. So I undo that with division. I get a 1 and I get a b. I don't know how many people I'm going to have tell me, oh, it's 0, because look, they all cancel. I say the word cancel all the time. I really should be better about it. They don't cancel and go away. 34 divided by 34 is 1b. Well, on the left side, 34 divided by 34 is 1. It's not that it's a 0. They don't cancel out. When you add and subtract stuff, that's when they actually go to 0. But when you divide by the same thing that's in front, by that coefficient, it just becomes 1. Okay? Slight difference there. Number 14 works very much the same. A lot of you have already seen this problem in class today. 19 minus 12n equals negative n. This negative 6 distributes. We get negative 54n and negative 24. So it looks a little bit different because I went ahead and distributed. All right? We've got some like terms on the right side. I clean those up before I start the rest of the problem. When I have a negative 1n minus 54, that's just combined to be a negative 55n minus 24. That stayed the same. Everything else stayed the same. Just combine these two like terms right here and right here. I'm going to add 55n to both sides for 2 reasons. 1, if I have a choice, I like my variable to be on the left, just out of habit. And 2, that's going to give me positive variables. 19, this right here is going to be a positive 43n. How do I know that? 1, I've done the problem 3 times today, but 2, it's negative 12 plus 55 is positive 43n equals, these cancel out, and we have negative 24 left over. We got all our n's on the left side, so we need all our regular numbers on the right. Subtract 19, subtract 19. We get that 43, that's not good either. 43n equals negative 43. Divide by 43, divide by 43. And we see that n equals negative 1. Okay? That was the solving equations portion of the exam.